corruption. So, first of all, we need to know what is corruption. Corruption is a dishonest or fraudulent conduct by those in power. That's a definition of the Oxford Dictionary. So, we know that we need to defeat the corruption in all the countries. And are countries that have more corruption than other ones. So, that's why France has two proposals to make this a good place to live to have not corruption. Also, as we know, France is in the 23rd place of 176 countries in transparency. So France is in a good place, but we can be in a better place as Denmark. Denmark is in the first place, and that can be as France, as many countries that can be in that place. So our proposal is to investigate all the people that works in the government to avoid all that corruption that exists. Also, in France exists the Congress of Transparency, so that could help us to investigate the government and know who is breaking the law. Our second proposal is to investigate the companies. As we know, the companies has a big influence on the government and all the country. So that's why we want to investigate all the companies to know that they are working in a good way and they don't have any person that is corruption or has corruption in the company. And that are the proposals that has France to avoid the corruption that could help all the countries. And also it's important to know that we need to defeat the corruption. We need to do something because it's the most important, and that could increase the level of the country that has. Thank you.
Next, please, United States.
Hello, good morning everyone. I'm representing the United States of America. It's an honor to be here with you today. In the world, there are many countries, and each country has their own rules, political systems, social development, and control. They decide how to control their political acts. Here there are two examples of the most repressive authoritarian states in the world, ruled by acts of Congress. North Korea. North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, is a country in East Asia constituting the northern part of the Korean Peninsula, ruled for 7 decades by a family king. People reported that human rights are violated by government, being able to privilege and disadvantage people. There is no independent media, functioning civil society, or religious freedom. For example, no freedom of movement. There's also Venezuela. Venezuela is a country on the northern coast of South America with diverse natural attractions. In the case of Venezuela, the discovery of oil in the early 20th century has formed political corruption, Transparency International 2016 corruption. Venezuela's crude oil production fell nearly 13% last year. The Venezuelan government has techniques use brutal treatment, including torture against anti-government protesters. It all started in the mid-2000s under President Hugo Chavez. The state implemented a series of ill-conceived economic policies. Then 2008 to 2014 were declared the boom years in Venezuela, having an average of 4.7%. Something has to be done. The reason corruption is a big deal is because it affects the residents of the countries, so that they will want under control repression. For example, genocide. Some of the gravest violations of the right to life are massacres. According to Michelle Mays in July 2003, line of action, establishing international treatments conventions and treaties signed by signatories of the states bind private actors to the terms of the agreement through the domestic application of the treaty provisions. The international community revealed an interest of outline a truly global agreement. The convention guides the states parties to consider bribery as a crime and defines it as the promise, offering or giving to public officials directly or indirectly, in order that the official act of refrain from acting in the exercise of his or her official duties, corruption as the use of public office for private gain. Thank you.
Thank you. For United Kingdom, Valdez Martinez, please.
Good morning, Presidium, everyone in this room. Well, as you know, the economy of the United Kingdom is made by the economies of England, Scotland, Wales, and North Ireland. It's the fifth economy in the world, taking like reference USA, China, Japan, and Germany. It's the second place of Europe after France. National currency is the sterling lira. The England Bank is the England Bank Central, who is responsible of relating that currency. Even though the Scotland Bank and North Ireland have allowed to release their own bills. The GDP per capita was of 36 euros in 2016, which is indicative that the population of the United Kingdom have a good level of life. The public debt in 2016 was of 2,229 of euros, with a debt of 88.3% of GDP. This debt per capita is of 13.739 euros per habitant. Before the two wars, the economy of the United Kingdom was derived for the heavy industry. That means the naval construction, the coal extraction, the steel production and textile industry. Even though the date is an important part of his economy in 2003, this industry only represents a sixth part of the invoices of the country. Although the heavy industry in United Kingdom economy is based by the automobilistic economy, the production of civil airplanes and defense, the chemical industry and pharmaceutics with Britain companies, GlaxoSmithKline and AstraZeneca, are the second and sixth largest corporations in the world, respectively. Likewise, the services sector is dominated by financial part, mostly banks. So, the ICP, or Index of Corruption Perception, started to be published by Governmental Organization of International Transparency in 1995, which measures in a decreasing scale from 100 to 0. The ICP in the United Kingdom is 81 points, which means that its population has a low perception of governmental corruption. Developed according to Organization for International Transparency, keeping the theme position compared to 176 countries in the same classification. To December, what does 81 points mean? 0 means high level of corruption, and 100 means really low perception of corruption. According to ICT, the highest position in this room is from Venezuela, having an average of around 17 points carried out in 2016. From 2013 to 2015, Venezuela was the fifth economy in Latin America, based on the extraction of petroleum, where each barrel cost $100, and the dollar was worth about 175 bolivars, local currency of Venezuela, until 2016, when the country's economy fell and the low price of petroleum fell to $64.85 per barrel, placing the bolivar as the lowest currency in Latin America, reaching a value of 865 bolivars, that is 0.0011 cents of dollar, falling in a great economic crisis. It should to be added that since 2003, the curtails and the confiscation of the factories and farms began, resulting in the destruction of productive capacities in the agri-food sector, creating a food crisis. Because the aforementioned, the United Kingdom proposed an alliance to the country previously described. So the Venezuelan government must allow an entry to British companies, which will create jobs to all local workers, raising the quality of life. At the same time, it will be possible to produce easily accessible food to control and then end the food crisis, developing the economy both in the agri-food sector and in financing all Venezuela. On the other hand, the British government will be rewarded with a percentage of 30% of its oil resources, not only for the British benefit, to speed and impose the bolivar against dollar, providing whole and better benefits for both countries, ending poverty in Venezuela, speeding up the economy for both parties, and seeking to raise the perception of corruption index in both nations.
Thank you. Next, China with Miss Evelyn Sandoval, please. Okay. Then Arab Emirates with Mr. Miguel Chavez.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Miguel Chavez, and I'm glad to be here with you. Corruption is one of the main challenges in governments, according to many international reports. Corruption in developing countries is more than developed countries. On the other hand, one of the advantages of e-government is accountability and transparency. Therefore, e-government can be introduced as a solution to reduce corruption in government activities. The Corruption Perception Index is an indicator of perception of public sector corruption, administrative and political corruption. Since 2016, the United Arab Emirates have 16 points, this meaning that they are in the 24th place in corruption around the world. This means that the person of Arab Emirates doesn't perceive the increase in the corruption. During the last years, United Arab Emirates have captured up to 12 millionaire functionaries that had been part of Apple, Amazon, and other enterprises. Our proposal to reduce the corruption in the United Arab Emirates is penalization to companies or industries for not identifying projects definition to imply higher costs and makes execution of the project or the work and getting to a debt that may last years. Quality control in the building and services through industries and officials with major qualification. Possibility for citizens to complain in the easiest possible way. regards and honors to the best business practices, transparency and digital advertising of public bidding documents and contests that are not restrictive of the largest audiences, creation of work of independent control, independent political groups that helps the country and having more options to vote, and not only the political groups that it has. Because some people don't believe in any of the political groups, so they need more proposals of independent political groups. In 2018, Dubai proposed a law in which punishment for corruption is going to be 20 years of prison and to take back the money to the victims. Corruption is a low risk for companies in the United Arab Emirates, the less corrupt country in the Arab world. The UAE offers a friendly business environment with an effective and efficient public administration. However, foreign companies must rely on local sponsorship if they want to succeed. Running families on involvement in the economy creates an uneven playing field. Investors should note that the legal system is divided into Sharia courts for family and criminal matters for civil law. There is a very low risk of corruption when getting public services in the United Arab Emirates, which offer a friendly business environment where the burden of government regulation is low and services are provided efficiently. It's true that the United Arab Emirates don't have a specific anti-corruption legislation, even though the UAE have taken many steps toward tackling corruption. The UAE have rules, regulation and enforcement against corruption, and have pursued several high-profile cases. For example, the UAE Federal Penal Code and the Federal Human Resources Law criminalize the acceptance of bribes by public and private sector workers and emplacements. The Dubai Financial Fraud Law applies to committed people of a crime in Dubai and criminalizes the receipt of illicit monies of public revenue. There is no evidence that corruption of public officials is a systematic problem. The State Audit Institution (SAE) and the Abu Dhabi Accountability Authority investigates corruption in the government. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Next, with Mexico, Mr. Christopher Mercado.
Good morning, representatives, countries, and participants. As the representative of the United Mexican States, I'm here to give my proposal on this problem and our current status on it. Now, we are all aware that corruption is a problem. We constantly see it every day, and we see how it affects us in every single one of our communities. Now, in my opinion, corruption affects us politically, economically, and socially. And I can define it as a negative way of seeing money and having greed to it to do anything to receive it. Now, Mexico has seen as a very corrupt country, and we have a really bad posture in this way because we've had constantly bad economical situations, such as we owe United States money. In history, we've had loss of territories like Texas. We've had wars that have incremented our taxes, and we've been paying constant attention at money. Now, on my opinion, I don't think that corruption is a solution, has a specific solution, because we will always have that ignorance that money will give us power, and I don't think we can properly ignore that as a society. So instead, I have a proposal to control it instead of having a solution. To understand this better, I'd like to compare Japan. Japan is an island and is relatively small compared to Mexico, but they still have a better economical status as in Mexico. So why do they have something better than us if we're an entire country that has enough resources? I've done my research and they have completely able to have a proper way of understanding the world by their education. I'm not saying that they're perfect, I'm saying that they can understand things better than other countries can. So as my solution, or as my way of controlling this, I'd like to adapt as for every country the way Japan educates and gives their culture. I don't want us to completely be like them, but to adapt depending on each country. And if we can do this properly, we can be able to learn how to properly and accurately use money and not lose it, and not have our ignorance of us paying too much attention at it. As the economist Robert Kiyosaki said, I am concerned that too many people are focused too much on money and not on their greatest wealth, which is their education. People are prepared to be flexible, keep an open mind, and learn. They will grow richer and richer through the changes. If they think money will solve the problem, I'm afraid those people will have a rough ride. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. Money without a smart way of investing is money long gone. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, with Russia, Mr. Francisco, please. Not here. Yeah.
Good morning, my name is Francisco Javier, a representative of the Fight Against Corruption in Russia. I appreciate the interest of the community present. Corruption can be defined as a harmful but diverse and global phenomenon whose agents belong to both the public sector and private companies. In the words of the President of International Transparency, in too many countries people are deprived of their basic needs and go to bed every night with hunger due to corruption. In Russia, the National Anti-Corruption Strategy has been created, which is a universal document that sets the goal of ending the cause and origins of corruption in society. Cite the source, adding that the key points of the strategy will accurate a form more concrete in the anti-corruption plans that have been drawn up at the federal, regional, and municipal levels. The group of the Against Corruption praised the action that the Russian authorities undertake to fight corruption, and it has been reported that such measures include greater independence of the judiciary and together punishment for corruption offense. During all our investigations that are carried of the within the Committee of the Russian Prosecutors of Office, it can be highlighted that charges have been brought against 14,500 people accused of corruption. Since I know that the fight against corruption was created, it has been of one of the priority objectives in Russia. The intensification of activities in the regard has made it possible to achieve certain positive results, increasing effective in detecting and combating crimes related to corruption. The investigation committee of the Russian Prosecutor Office investigate serious crimes and cases in which the victims are minors. In 3 years that the organization has been operating, it has studied more than 3 million complaints. I appreciate the opportunity provided to share my arguments with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we can proceed to the next step. But first, what is your proposal? Even if your representative wasn't here. What was it? No. No. For corruption, what is your proposal? Do you want a minute to find it? Okay, then. China, same thing, your representative wasn't here, but what's your proposal?
The proposal of China is something that it could be like a proposal of United States. Investigate all the persons that are in the power for detect all the corruption.
Any proposal, Venezuela? Okay. Then we can start. France, your proposal is about investigating all the companies and all the people in the government. How you propose to do that? By what kind of investigation?
The proposal is investigate all the movements that they do with the money we France's proposal is make new rules to make clear all the business and what they working with, what they do with money.
You think that proposal can also apply to other nations?
Yes.
Okay, then let's start voting. First, Russia, do you agree or disagree with this proposal?
We agree.
United Kingdom, you agree or disagree?
I'm agree.
Venezuela? United States?
I disagree. If you want to investigate a company or any other country, and if they want to investigate themselves, they can't. It's a corrupt place, and there's no way to find out if it's true. I would like to use my veto power on this.
Okay. Arab Emirates, you agree or disagree?
I agree.
China?
I agree.
And finally Mexico?
I agree.
Okay, for majority of votes, then we can
Excuse
proceed.
me, I wanted to use my veto power on this.
You want to use your veto power?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, the proposal gets denied and we can continue.
Mr. President and Vice President, it's my suggestion, since Venezuela has not a proposal or poster in this topic, I suggest not to consider the nation to the voting.
Okay, I agree. Thank you for the suggestion. United States. You want to improve the educational system. Can you make clear how you propose to improve it?
May you repeat, please?
Yeah, can you make more clear how you propose to improve the educational system?
Well, first of all, we wanted to make we propose to create international treatments, first of all. That depending on what country, that will increment the resources in both countries, and we believe that we can make that for every single country that it has lack of any resource.
Okay, well then, let's start voting. Russia, do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
United Kingdom?
Can yes, propose because I didn't hear it.
Yeah, the proposal is about make international treaties and also improve the educational system.
I'm agree.
Okay. Venezuela, I'm sorry you can't vote in this case. France?
I agree.
Okay. Arab Emirates, do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. China?
I agree.
And finally Mexico?
I agree.
Okay, for majority of votes, actually everyone was agreed, then this proposal gets approved and we can move to the next one. United Kingdom. So you want to help Venezuela with its works, with getting more work, right?
Yeah.
Can you give me more detail about it?
Yeah. We want to make an alliance with Venezuela to increment their economy. How we do that? We want to make companies in his country and make works, make jobs for the people from Venezuela. The Bolivar is the money who has a less value, so we want to improve his economy.
And by improving its economy, you think the corruption will get lower?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, well, this is a straight proposal to Venezuela. So, Venezuela, you agree to start this alliance?
Based in politics, a survey revealed that 82% of homes in Venezuela live in poverty and 52% are in extreme poverty. Found by national universities, the alliance, the United Kingdom, is correct. Yes.
So you agree to this proposal? You wanted to make it true because it's directly to you. So you need to be agree in order to make the voting to the other countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree? Then Russia, you agree with this alliance?
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't affect me. So.
Okay. France, you agree? United States?
I disagree. It is corruption is a morality problem, and even if any other country would help, that would probably just drag them down.
Okay. Arab Emirates?
I don't think it will end up with corruption in that way, so I disagree.
China?
I agree.
Finally, Mexico?
I'm with United States. I don't think that would be a proper solution because they still have their minds of corruption, and if you improve their economy, they won't ignore the fact that they have even more money.
Okay. Then, for majority of votes, this proposal gets approved, and United Kingdom and Venezuela can start working on it, and we can move on. Arab Emirates. One of your proposals is to start a law of corruption, right? Well, anti-corruption.
Yes.
Can you explain me more about that law?
Yeah, well, a proposal is to penalize the companies or industries for not identifying the project definitions that imply higher costs and make execution of the project or the work and get into a debt that may last years. This means, for example, when a new, let's put a basic example, an Apple store. When they release a new product, it is said that it must have certain costs, but sometimes certain company or a little store may put the price a little bit up to the budget, and in many cases it benefits the direct person that is making it, the company in a low percentage, and the store that is selling it, like in a really big way. So our project is to be more attentive to that, to really identify in every little store that may have, well, every product, and put more attention in the citizens' thoughts, what they say, and to make companies to make them see that nothing bad is going to happen to them if they talk about something not being right.
Okay. So this can complement with the France proposal, right? To investigate and then apply the law.
Yeah, I know it.
You think other nations can apply in this proposal?
Yeah, of course. The only maybe trouble is that it's going to take a really long time because you're not only going to investigate in the industry, but as I said, in the scope.
Okay. So to start a law anti-corruption, Russia, you agree or disagree?
I agree.
I'm agree. Disagree. France?
I agree.
United States?
I agree.
China?
I agree.
And finally Mexico?
I agree.
Okay, for majority this proposal can also start. It's going to be okay, Mexico. One of your proposals was also improving the educational system. You think you can improve it in other way than?
So I think this can work in our country very good.
Do you agree or disagree? Okay, France?
I agree.
United States?
I agree.
Arab Emirates?
I agree.
And finally China?
I agree.
Okay, did everyone agree? Then this proposal is accepted. Russian. Yeah. Can you please give the microphone?
Excuse me for the interruption, Mr. President. I just want to remind the representatives that they are not allowed to speak to each other. Thank you.
Thank you for the side note. So, Russia, you want to punish the corruption. How you want to punish it?
I want 12 years of jail for those that accept the bribe and make a daily report of the police officers and their stations, because we have to work with a strong hand and make up pressures for this corrupt government and maybe we can control this problem if they are afraid of the law.
Okay, with the law that Arab Emirates already proposed and we all vote and agree, I think we have already a way to punish the corruption. So I don't think your proposal can improve that, or you disagree with me? You think your proposal can improve the law of corruption that Arab Emirates already told?
Yes, because we want these criminals, if I say it like that, I like to be scared and afraid. We want like a government with a kind of fear.
Do you think that
I
proposal
don't think so, because if this work,
out in order to don't go in the wrong way with the human resources, but let's vote to make that proposal and check it out with human resources. So, United Kingdom, you agree or disagree to this proposal?
I disagree. I think that it will be a little bit aggressive. We want to make peace, not something like start a conflict with the country, so inside the countries.
Okay, France?
I disagree because it's aggressive, and I think that Russia can find other way specific to fix the corruption, and I want to use maybe the power.
Or you just agree with that proposal and don't want to improve it?
Can you repeat the question, please, in English?
Yeah. Okay, the proposal about investigating your proposal can improve that proposal, or you think it's almost the same?
I guess it's the same, and just we need to improve just a little bit.
Okay then, with all the proposals vote and the new solutions made. I think we come to an end in this session. We got solutions, so I thank you all for your attention and your cooperation.